Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest is Steve Archerback, volleyball coach at La Cueva High School. Also, the 2021 state champions, and what a great accomplishment.
It was an exciting year and an exciting ending.
You know, this is your number 4 that you've taken La Cueva and won state championship. And I know this question is always dib, so I'm not going to try to say which one was more important, but I think all of them are more important at the time it was dib. But that's something that the standards you have set for La Cueva, and congratulations.
Thank you. It was an exciting year, and I think this one was a special one, just because we didn't know from with COVID and everything and all the firepower we lost last year, where we would be this year.
Well, I'll tell you, 24-1. You're lost to Cibola in the Metro Championship. Kind of probably an eye opener for your team, and then the response the following week you played Cibola and you beat them at your home court, and then from there on it was. Easy roller coaster.
I wouldn't say easy, but it was a roller coaster. And I think you are correct. I think it was when we lost to Cibola, it was a wake-up call. The girls, I think we went into the Metro final just a little overconfident. We hadn't been losing, and we had a really good summer. And we went, I think, overconfident, but it knocked us back down, and we realized we could be beat. And so from that point, the girls just made a goal of no overconfidence and just take one game at a time.
Well, I tell you, impressive year. Like I said, you're 24-1 for the year, but impressive 7 sets of loss, and your only loss was to Cibola. But I was looking through Max Preps right here, and that's pretty. We have 3-0 all the way down, and that's got to be rewarding to see every week.
It was, and the good thing is that we were so deep. My bench was so deep that I was able to use a lot of my other girls, and just put in other girls, and they would just step up, and we'd get things done. We'd get into a tight match or a tight set, and we just overcome things and just kind of get things done. We did lose 7 sets, I think, all season. 3 to Cibola, 4 to Cibola, count the second match, and then 2 to Sandia, 1 to Centennial. So it was a really good season.
Very, very impressive, and we've talked about this in you were here on the show like 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I kind of made a comment. I'll probably see you in 4 or 5 weeks. You kind of looked at me and gave me that little grin, like, "Oh, that's glad you have confidence in that." But that's easier said than done. I mean, there's a lot of good talent in the state and a lot of good coaches in the state, and you have a target every time you guys, you ladies,
right.
go into a gym. It's that you're going to get the best effort from the opposing team.
Yeah, and we know that. We know every time that we step in a gym, you are correct. People want to beat La Cueva, and they want to beat us. And with a lot of these girls play club together, so they kind of really go after each other. When they get on the court, and so it's not an easy. Any contest is not easy on our schedule. We're just kind of lucky that we have some girls that just can play above and beyond, in their talent and against the talent across the state, because volleyball has really improved across the state.
Well, I think in all sports, almost it's year round. I mean, these student athletes, they play year round, and you can just see. We're going to touch on this later when we get into the state championship, but it's to see the athleticism and the excitement, and I'm the first one I even told. I mean, to watch you, who would think that me, a basketball guy, and thinking that maybe my ego and all that's the sport that everybody should be doing, but tell you what, women's, you know, volleyballs, it grows on you. If you go to the matches, see the energy, the you know, again, unbelievable year, fans in the stands. I mean, and the excitement when you know, you could just feel in all of your home games and on the way games. There's always excitement in the gym.
You know, that is correct. I mean, this weekend just kind of topped it off with you looked around the event center and you saw the stands filled. You know, championship Saturday night, there was, you know, Robertson, Laguna just brought all the fans. We brought fans. Cleveland brought fans, and it's exciting for the sport of volleyball just to have the support. You know, across the state, I think all teams brought a bunch of fans, and you know, I think the sport of volleyball is just so fun to watch, and I'm glad that people are enjoying, and you know, we kind of get after it, but it's a beautiful sport.
Well, let's talk about, you know, Metro Championship is a big. I know it's a big, you know, momentum thing to win that. You came up in second place. Talk about the district play, you know, and what your goals were and what you were trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So right after district, we had a few regular season matches to kind of get the rest of the kinks out, kind of regroup after that, and then we started district, and we're in a pretty tough district as well. I think the Rio Rancho Cleveland district is pretty tough, but our district is pretty tough with El Dorado, Sandia. We have West Mesa is much improved, and then we go up and have to travel to Farmington and Pedro Vista. So, you know, when you travel, it's tough on teams as well. You get road legs, you kind of get complacency and get home late at night. So our district did really prepare us, you know, day in, day out, playing, you know, our Northeast rivals. That's a tough test, and especially those two teams, they've much improved from the beginning of the season.
Well, I think the word is rivals. You know, you talk about Cleveland and Rio Rancho, but I'm just saying about natural rivals, long-term rivals, Sandia, La Cueva, El Dorado, you know, La Cueva, and great programs. I mean, I'm just saying that they're you know, they take pride in what they do, and all those coaches. I watched their. You know, like I said, on any given night, if you're not ready, they're ready to take you off your conquest of winning.
Yeah, you know, especially, you know, like the El Dorado, La Cueva rivalry in every sport. You get fans in the stands, you get the student body pumped up. The whole week is just rivalry week. But you know, us in volleyball with Sandia as well, because they've taken us out of the state tournament, they've taken us out of district. So those two teams in volleyball with us are just natural rivalries every year. We look at those two teams on the schedule, and we know that they're going to be a battle.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week and come back and talk more about the state championship.
All right, sounds good.
And Stephen West is going to win this one very handily. What a dominating performance from Stephen West. And that is Ellery Battle, your 2021 5A Girls NMAA State Cross Country Champion.
Trying to get to it. Here's Michael Wan. And they're trying to get a counterattack for Hashigan. Hashigan, she's going to have the shot in the goal. Sandia Prep, Hashigan.
Second and 18 now at the Bernalillo 32-yard line. Rivera back to pass, rolls goes right, under pressure. Throwing across his body to Garris. Garris breaks one tackle. Garris could be in the end zone, and he is. Touchdown, touchdown Academy. 32.
Long shot for goal! And we're all tied up. It's Christian Contreras with the the goal.
All right, Gerardo drops back. A little bit of pressure. He goes deep to Valdez right away. Caught it. Walks the sideline, and it's going to be a touchdown. Oh, nastiness.
I mean, how is this not prevent?
Your entire secondary should be back.
There he is again, under pressure. Looking at the corner of the end zone at the pylon, and no signal yet.
That's a touchdown.
It's got to be, right? No signal.
Give him the touchdown.
The people's champ with a catch. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Like that, something's going to go in. A header by Wagner. Wagner, the left-footed shot, and he will score another. How did that happen?
Wow, he made a nice little flick past the guy and then basically just took a quick step, muscled his way in there, and on his lesser used foot, tucks it away with the left.
Third and 17. Giannis the play fake, trying to go around left end. He's got some room. And a blocker in front. Down the left side. Giannis might break it for the touchdown. I don't think anyone's going to catch Giannis. Touchdown. 52-yard touchdown run by David Giannis.
And Nevin Sapatka can't find his spot. It's Sanchit Singh that he's trying to find. Singh will lift it up for Sapatka. Last chance. Does he get it? Yes, he does. Nevin Sapatka finishes the game. The shirt comes off, and the Chargers back-to-back champions as they beat Lovington in overtime again. Wagner, flags stay down. Wagner, he's going to cut some room, and he's going to seal it. A 4-goal game, Alex Wagner.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We've got Steve Archibald, head volleyball coach at La Cueva High School and also the 2021 state champions. And tell you what, you win your district, number 1 seed in state, target on your back. You have Centennial, and you have other people thinking it's their time of the year. But you get a foe. Your first playing game was Sandia. What were your thoughts going into that match against Sandia?
We knew not to take them easily because we had just played them a couple weeks before and towards the end of the district, and they took us to 5, and it was a hard battle. We actually were down 14-11 on that last 5th set and came back and won 17-15. So we knew that they were going to come at us. The good thing is that we had been at state before, so we had a little bit of nerves, and once we got settled in, we took care of business. And I think Sandia, they had took a year off, and some of the new girls hadn't been there before, so they kind of were a little bit more nerves in that first set. And once we kind of settled in, we took care of business.
Well, Sandia had to play a playing game, and I think that I'm speaking for myself if I'm a coach. That's always scary because they get a playing game while you're waiting and trying to keep your team focused, and those games can get momentum. I think you said it before the show and everything that volleyball is a game of momentum. I mean, and runs, and also emotion.
Correct. It is tough to kind of sit and wait and watch to see who you're going to play, and while everyone else is playing. But and like you said, momentum. Volleyball is momentum. You go on runs and you try to stop those runs, and if they just keep going and going, then you kind of let the set slip away. But we were able to watch them on Tuesday night, go and scout them. So we came in a little bit prepared, and we knew what they were running, what they were going to do. Once we got settled into that first set, I think we just kind of took care of business that Friday afternoon.
Well, then you play a team that beat you in the Metro tournament, Cibola, and speak on. I mean, Cibola, pretty talented, pretty athletic.
Yeah, Cibola, we knew it was gonna be a tough night. We came in, we knew not to underestimate them. They're dynamic, they're high flying offense. They've got some young girls that just have no care, and they'll just come at you. And we were able to shut them down. Blocking. We had some really good defense. And then just overpowered them. And I think that was the key to Cibola, is we just had so much more firepower, and they got a little frustrated. We could tell on the other side of the net they were frustrated with our block, with our defense, and they kind of started falling apart. And like I said, we come at you at every angle, and we're not going to let up.
I tell you, the Rio Rancho Event Center. I kind of, the venue was 4 courts. Does that have an effect? I mean, other teams playing, or is your team so focused that it doesn't, seeing other teams playing on other courts?
You know what? I think it's a good atmosphere, and a lot of our girls will play club tournaments in this type of atmosphere. They'll go up to, Crossroads, and they'll play on. There's 160 courts going, so they're kind of used to this atmosphere. However, the ceiling and the ball and the lights and everything, it's a whole different atmosphere, which takes a little bit of getting used to. But our girls thrive on just the emotion of everything that's going on, watching other volleyball games, watching other courts. They thrive on that, and we even talked about a
packed crowd on every court.
Yep.
Every it was just like a lot of emotion. Yep. And I guess the question is too is it's kind of like golfers when they hear somebody make a birdie or an eagle or whatever, and you hear the roar, and you're trying to concentrate. Does that ever come into effect or anything like that? Because everybody's like, what's going on?
Well, and it does. When you have a great kill, or you have a great pickup, or you have a great dig.
I mean, because that sound elevates right, and everybody's like looking around, what happened?
Exactly, and then you just have you start hearing the crowd cheer, and it brings the energy to the court. And that's what we tell is, even we tell our bench, we need energy from you to help us out. And so when the girls thrive on that energy, and you can feel like if our fans are behind us, they're cheering, it brings a lot of emotion and energy to the girls.
Well, you get through Friday, and you're basically 2-0 in the state tournament, and Saturday, preparation for Saturday. Okay, you went on Friday night, and kind of give me your speech and what we got to do to prepare for it. Got 2 o'clock afternoon game.
So after Friday night, we kind of ended, kind of late. We did a championship, not championship, but it's kind of Saturday. Our routine is Saturday morning brunch at one of the parents' house, and so they invite us over. We have a team together. From that point on, we are together. So we had a brunch that morning. We go to the school. We do our serve and pass. And then before every game, it's kind of our little tradition is I kind of get a motivational song or a speech that's out there, and we listen to that. And that kind of gets us focused. And there was one that we listened to all weekend. It was Make It Count. So when you step on the court, make everything count. Every pass, it's more of a football analogy, but it's every tackle, every pass, every catch, everything, you make it count. And no matter whether you're on the bench, you make it count. So that was our whole focus this whole weekend was make it count, leave everything on the court.
Another, people don't realize, me included, is, from my house, which is right by La Cueva, it's basically, anywhere from a 30 to 45 minute drive, depending on the traffic. And was that a concern of yours of making sure everybody, had the appropriate time to leave?
So we what we do is that I don't let the girls drive. I have parents drive. So the parents pick us up and they drive us out there.
You meet at one place and you all leave, kind of like a caravan?
Yeah, we all meet at La Cueva. So we're doing our serve and pass. The parents come pick us up at La Cueva, and then they drive us out there. so that they're caravanning out there. We're getting there together, and we go in together. So I don't like the situation of girls driving, because then they're either late or they get in an accident, and then it just rattles a team. When we have the parents, the parents kind of take their time. They make sure the girls are there safe. They're not running red lights, all that kind of stuff. So we do have some things that we do to take care of them, make sure our girls there. And we are a 30, 45 minute, but I work over there on that side, and I kind of knew what the traffic patterns were after they opened up, and that we would be okay. So it took us probably on the average anywhere from about 25 to 30 minutes to get up there.
I tell you, we're going to go take a little break, and we're going to come back and show some footage of your victory.
Thank you.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Got Steve Archibald, head volleyball coach at La Cueva, also 2021 state championships and state champion. Steve, I mean, we got the girls at the Ranch Event Center, and your opponent, Centennial, team that fluctuated 1 and 2 all year long.
Yeah, they were. That was what we look forward to all season long, is trying to get back at Centennial. They knocked us out of state last year, and we had seen them this summer. That we knew that they were the team to beat. And both Al Rosen and I, who's their coach, had kind of talked, and we knew that we would see each other. We kind of thought we'd see each other in the finals, but they got upset the night before. But we had been seeing film on them. We prepared, and we knew that Tess Fuqua, their number one, was just going to hammer us, and we had to play defense. We had to try to stop her, and we rattled them, and we were able to kind of be victorious Saturday afternoon after dropping the second set. I think we kind of overpowered them. We just knew where they were going. We kind of got them out of system. We didn't go after the libero. I think she barely touched any serve receive balls, and we just focused on Tess. And once we did that, I think we were okay.
Well, I tell you, that the first 2 sets, it was 1-1.
Yes.
And I tell you that they were I use the word intense. Both teams were intense, and each team made each team work and think through the whole process. And then it seemed like the third, fourth, and set, your team got the composure, and just every time they answered any runs or any rallies that they have, and then you could just see their intensity level kind of fall down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that third set they started up, and we just kind of answered back, and then we went ahead, and I think at some point, I think we were down maybe 10 to 6, and we made a, I think, 6-0 run, went up 12-10, and from that point on, I think we never looked back. But on that set and then the fourth set, reviewing film, reviewing the video that I watched over the weekend or yesterday, that was kind of our breaking point, 12-10, and we just put on the gas and never looked back. I think they got it within 1 or 2. The rest of that set, and then the third set, I think we just took care of business.
Well, so then game's over, and next thing, that game was at 2 o'clock, probably ended a long game. I mean, it was a long. It was even though it was you had won, they only won 1 set. It was still, I mean, that's how intense it was. It was a lot of points scored, a lot of volleys. You know, next thing you know is you got maybe 2.5 hours for the net. Tell me the mindset, what you were focused on getting into to play Cleveland at 4 o'clock.
So right after Centennial, I had the girls watch a little bit of Cleveland while we kind of gathered some what we were going to do. We decided that we were going to get the girls out of that event center, go grab a quick bite, and then come back. So we kind of talked a little bit. Hey, now we have to refocus. The focus is probably going to be on Cleveland. They were ahead, I think, 2-1, and they were winning the fourth set. And we had played them early in the season, but we knew they had changed. They had added an outside hitter who was just powerful. They took out Centennial the night before, so we knew that there was going to be some different expectations that we needed to cover. So the coaches kind of watched some quick film, came up with a game plan. We had a quick bite at Dion's, talked about our game plan, and then we came back over, got the girls refocused. We listened to our pregame speech, and then we started it all over again. I think the girls were much more relaxed after beating Centennial, because that was kind of our whole focus was, if we had lost to Centennial, we were out. There was no double elimination at that point. And I think the girls realized at this point, you know, we're relaxed, we're in the finals, and we have nothing to lose. They just came out.
Well, I'll tell you what, you win the set. We're going to go to some video right here and kind of walk us through this.
Yeah, that was kind of the game point right there. We were cruising on that third set pretty easily. They made a little bit of a run. I think at some point we were up like 16-4, but we just had so much firepower. I think that last set, there was an incredible set by Erin Jones. She did a little side set, and then Isabella Harrison saw that line wide open and went straight down that line. It was a great season, and these girls just did so much work over the season and over the last 3 or 4 days. They listened to the coaching plan, and we took care of business.
Well, how's that feel right there to get that?
It's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling when you put everything together and everything works. I mean, we started since June, kind of working on a plan to take back. We lost in the semis last year, or this spring with COVID year, and I knew I had the talent to be back in the finals. And after we took care of Centennial in the semis, we knew that we could win this whole thing.
Well, you look at that, and the thing that I've learned with which you coach is that it's hard to it seems like they have tears if they win, they have tears if they lose.
Exactly.
It's kind of like it was, I noticed that in cheer and dance, man. I was like, these girls are crying because they won, and I'm like, it's just kind of, if you hadn't been around it, it's hard to how to control your own emotions sometimes.
Right. Well, I think a big thing that I've always talked about when we come into Championship Saturday is leave it out on the court. Leave it out. If you have time to cry because you lost, then you didn't leave it on the court. So I think the emotion that they had was.
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, the emotion they had was just they were done. I mean, they were overwhelmed. Everything. It was just they were excited, and the emotion that they had for crying was they're just so happy to be there. They had a goal from the beginning, is to win state. I think every team has the goal to win state. But my girls really believed that they could do it. And, we had a great summer. We went up to Colorado, and we beat one of the best teams in Colorado for the UNC team camp. From that point on, the girls knew that we could win state.
Well, Steve, I want to say, hey, thanks a lot for coming on. Congratulations, 2021 state championships for girls volleyball. And thanks again for coming on the Steve Davis Show.
Thank you.